Hey, Rich, A-OK Knives. Today, I want to talk about Kershaw, and I want to talk about their value packs. Their value packs, even I think I bought 2 packs of 3 knives, 6 knives total, and these are like the promo 1X and then the promo 2X. And they were $7 at Walmart on sale. I think the regular price might have been a little more, obviously, but like, I don't know, maybe $9, $10, $11, $12 a pack. But you get 3 knives in a pack. So, like, I don't know, it's like I get hit by all these Kershaw people that are upset because people were knocking off the certain knives of Kershaw, specifically Ken Onion designs. I get it. I mean, it's out there, guys. It's just you're gonna have to deal with it. Not everybody is gonna want to pay from $50 from the bare bones Ken Onion leek to over $200 for one. Yeah, literally on Amazon you can buy an onion leek probably with, I think it's got like fat carbon on it and 14C28N, or maybe a better steel, you know. And I'm kind of like, it's funny how people out there, they pick their battles and they pick their flag and they're fighting. I mean, I guess, like, I'm American, so if I, even when I feel like America's wrong, I gotta stand up for America. And I'm sure everybody in their own country does the same darn thing, so I get it. But this isn't a country, this is a knife brand, guys. And they're guilty of all the sins of every other company out there that utilizes China to get ahead in capitalism. So I don't feel bad for those companies. I feel glad that those companies are being challenged by outside outfits to offer their product, basically. Give or take, you don't know. Nobody knows what kind of steel any of these companies are really using until you get the knife in your hand, you put it to action, and you realize, hey, under other circumstances, this metal should have stood up to what my challenge was, and it didn't. So there's a good chance that that was false advertised steel. But you don't know that until you do that. So with Kershaw, they do have brand validity. I'll give them that, but they're also flooding the market. They really are. I mean, when you can get 6 knives in a box store for $14, and we're talking like, pretty good knives. Spring assisted on that one. That's a bigger knife. Then you got like a little cleaver blade. These all have that FRN. The FRN. This is a slip joint. I'm sitting here looking for the lock, and I'm like, I don't see the lock. So that's a slip joint. The other one's spring assisted. This one was really neat. It's a lock back down at the bottom here, and they have the whole handle encapsulated in rubber, and they even encapsulated the actual lock mechanism in the rubber. And it took me forever to find that, which I thought was kind of neat. It was really like a mystery. It was one of those little mystery box things. So there's 3. And then there's this thing, which is really nice looking knife. And these are spring assisted. I think they have like 5 CR or 3 CR metal on the blade. 3 CR. These are all 3 CR. And the ones that are like liner locks are spring assisted, so they fly open. And then they have this really neat little tiny sucker. I like this. It's neat because, like, on this side, you have full access to that liner lock. It's a really cool knife. I'm gonna put that on a keychain for sure. I like that a lot. It's so funny. Like, here's a little tiny sucker, spring assisted. This is a really cool little doggy too. But it's so funny. They're like, I don't know, do you guys feel this? Like, go through knife phases where, like, there's times where I really want a big knife. You know, I want one of these, you know, a real big knife. But now I'm going through a phase where I'm thinking these little tiny suckers are really cool. You know, I'm really going through that. There's another knife back there that was a Chinese knife called the Camperite. I think it's called the Camperite. The Good Camper. And it's a neat little knife. Sharp as heck, too. But so you get all 6 of these knives through Kershaw. And I'm not hating on Kershaw. I'm watching a lot of videos on the 2023 Alpha class, and I'd like to get one of those. I definitely want to get a launch. And I did want to get a leak until all the leak people jumped my shit. So now I'm kind of like, I'll let the leak people be leak people, and I'm not going to be a leak person. You know, I'm still a fan of Ken Onion and a lot of his designs, even though he's kind of partied himself to, you know, the market flood of crap when it comes to some of this stuff. But this was at Walmart, and I got 6 knives for $14. You need to go to the Walmart knife section. Even at full price, these knives seem like they're worth it as far as good work utility knives. I'll scatter these all throughout my house if I haven't already done that before a couple times, because those knives end up disappearing, one breaking, whatever, and you buy another value pack and you put that knife on top of your water heater. That's what I do. And then I got a knife over by my pellet stove, and then I've got a knife in the drawer, you know, the junk drawer, and so on and so forth. I have a shop, and then I'm gonna have another kind of shop, so I'll have these cheaper knives everywhere. Even though I'm a box cutter guy. When it really gets down to utility purposes, it doesn't get any better than a box cutter blade and a box cutter, believe it or not. I've messed around since I got I got this on sale too. I went back to get these because there's a bunch of these, and I've used these working now. And these blades that come with this they go dull real quick. So it's amazing how much longer like a simple Lennox or a Cobalt or a Stanley box blade will go so much longer than those blades. So I don't know if they're having like quality issues on these types of blades because they're newer. You know, that it slides right into the knife thing. I'm sure you guys have seen those. If you haven't, I've got one up here. Right. Oh. Well, yeah, here it is. This is the black one. I got the camel one out in the shop, but like right here. So you just push this down and pull that off. It's kind of neat, you know. And this one had the saw blade, and they come with different types of blades. And then you just push that back down on there. Here, let me do that on camera. My bad. So you just go. There's like a little track. Put it in the track. That's it. You don't have to push that. You don't have to do anything. It just slides right in and locks. I like that. I'm surprised how easy they made that, to be honest with you. But yeah, Kershaw knives. I'm so mixed over Kershaw knives. I don't know what it is about them. And I don't know what it is about their fans. Because they are very serious about their Kershaw knives, and anybody that might be dogging them or cloning them or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. But I do like getting 6 knives for $14 sometimes. Even though, hey, you know, sound off, Kershaw people. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about your company that you love? And I get it, because you guys are probably carrying an Alpha class. You're carrying a Blur. You're carrying a Leak. You're carrying a Kershaw USA. You're carrying a ZT. You know, okay, so I get those. Those are all quality and awesome. But you also got to take in consideration that same company is probably the leading contributor to Chinese market flooding and Chinese labor and child labor and stuff like that as well. You know, it's like those people that go to the soccer game to watch your kid play soccer, you know, and it's not going to be the greatest analogy, but you know, they'll sit in the stands and they'll talk about American made this, American made that, and everything, while all the kids are wearing Nike equipment and kicking a Nike ball, and maybe even have a Nike sponsor at the park, you know. So it's, and then every other pretty much brand that goes on the, not just Nike, you know, are all made in the sweat markets. So I mean, where's the outrage start? Where's it end? Where? How do you control it? I mean, my thing is just try to buy American. Don't virtue signal and don't impress that upon other people. It's their choice. It's their budget. It's what they can and can't afford. You know, and you know, it used to be like, get mad at the people that are buying Chinese for say, people buying Chinese because they bought this knife and they didn't need it. They just wanted a value pack for their garage, like me. Okay? Now, don't get mad at the guy who decided to buy, who had to, wanted and had to buy this, because this has 14C28N steel and it looks almost exactly like a leak. I get it. But it supposedly has a really superior steel, and now you got people out there that are hard workers and they really need a good knife, and they don't want to spend 5 times what they had to pay to get this. That's the thing. And then all those virtue signalers out there, and I'm not just say Kershaw people, this is everybody. Kershaw people, I'm going to say it's everybody, especially like Benchmade guys, Spyderco guys. Those guys are rough too on people. And it's like, leave that guy alone. You know? Let that guy be happy that he may have a knife that he doesn't have to spend time sharpening, and he can spend time with his kids, and then he can take that knife back to work the next day and cut boxes open and feel good about it and have it in his pocket and say, yeah, you know, I like this knife a lot and it works great for me. You know, because that's what it really comes down to for that kind of guy. I mean, go ahead and give me shit, because, you know, I'm put, like I said, this is going on top of my water heater. This is going next to my furnace. You know, this will go on top of my pellet stove. This will go on top of my wood burner. You know what I mean? Down the line. All right, so I'm guilty. I'll be guilty all day long, and I'll take the hit. But you just can't get mad at the market completely, because they are putting out some really quality materials. I don't know if their execution's quality. You know what I mean? This knife may, you know, get a lot of wobble at some point. It may lock up on me. I don't know yet. It looks as though it's not going to, feels as though it's not going to, but you never know. So when you're out there and you're talking to people, take into consideration that you might be in a different budget class than them, and you need to maybe appreciate that. Maybe not. It doesn't matter to me. You know, because maybe you'll go out there and you'll shame the wrong guy, and who knows what'll happen then. But definitely, Kershaw people, different breed. I mean, I got a lot of Kershaw, so maybe I'm a Kershaw guy, and I just don't understand my breed. Who knows? But yeah, these are Kershaw knives, very cheap Kershaw knives. But you know what? These things will work, and I'm glad that, you know, that happens sometimes. But what do you? It's such a mixed arena. But that's it. That's all I gotta say on that. So they're knives. They're cheap knives, but Kershaw is a pretty good brand. And if I'm gonna buy a cheap knife, I'd probably buy a Kershaw knife before a lot of the other ones, if given the choice. All right, I'm out. Deuces.